Hey, welcome back to the the Aerospace and Defense Supplier Summit, Seattle. And we're here today, and I'm interviewing different companies that are here at the event. And we're gonna give you a little bit of information about the company and what they do and what makes them unique. And then we're going to talk a little bit about why a supplier is here and why you might consider coming here again in the future. So I hope you get some good value out of this. So what I like to do is just start out by just asking who you are and what do you do. So let's just start out with that, Rick. So just tell everybody who you are and what do you do.
I'm Rick Taylor. I'm Vice President of Altech Incorporated in Liberty Lake, Washington. We are our region's premier contract manufacturer, primarily supporting space, aerospace, defense, medical, and high-end instrumentation industries.
Yeah, all real growing, industries. That's some stable and some growing. So
Yeah.
That's a great combination to have. Okay, excellent. And then how about if you tell our viewers who you are and what do you do?
I'm Todd Baker. I'm Altech's Director of Quality, also assisting with technical sales.
Perfect. Quality is always an important part of a manufacturing company. That's a good place to start. All right. Hey, listen, let's dig in a little bit deeper. On the first half of this, I'd like, if we could, just have a bit of a conversation about Altech, and so that people can a little bit better understand, what you do, actually what the company does. So could you just give us a brief description of really what it is that you do?
Primarily, our core competencies are plastic injection molding with molding presses from 40 ton to 1,760 ton and everything in between. We try to add value within the cycle time of the press, so we have a lot of module work cells on wheels that we move up to the press to add value within that cycle. Our goal is to always have a finished part go in the box within the cycle of the press. We also do a lot of high-speed machining. We've got a completely automated machine shop with high-speed horizontals, with linear pallet shuttle systems, mill turns, multi-axis mill turns, multi-axis screw machines, and we do a lot of configure-to-order manufacturing. We've got a lot of CNC equipment. Our maintenance department is very helpful to create dedicated work cells by reassembling equipment out on the floor for a single piece flow through a product grouping that lends itself to making that investment. We also have a value-added service area where we do a lot of custom painting, both solvent-based and water-based, for the industries, as well as pad printing, laser printing, a whole host of hardware assembly where we're integrating circuit boards and wire harnesses and doing a finished and tested sub-assembly for our end customers.
Wow, you have quite a broad range of capabilities there. So you explained at the beginning a broad range of industries you work in, as well as a broad range of capabilities that exist there. So I think one thing I'm taking away from that is that you have quite a bit of capability, all right, is what it sounds like, okay? But let me break this down just a little bit for the people that are watching. So if we were to hone in on the aviation aerospace component of it, okay? If I were to ask you, a little more specifically, is it, okay, you told me you do machining and you do injection molding and you do assembly and finishing kind of processes. So those of you watching, just keep that in mind, okay? They do injection molding and they do machining and they do finishing and they do, assembly kind of processes, okay? And I know it's way more than that, but let's boil it down to that. In front of us on the table here, we have a bunch of parts and components. Is there something here you could show us that's representative of what you're doing, maybe, or something like that?
Absolutely. This is a proximity switch sensor. There's hundreds of these throughout the aircraft. Our core business in our prox cell is machining the switch housing itself. So this comes in a wide variety of part geometries, depending on where it's mounted in the fuselage of the aircraft. They all basically work the same way. We manufacture these for a tier 1 aerospace company. We manufacture all the components that go in this housing. We won this business because they asked us to take on a specific heat treating process. It's a hydrogen vacuum furnace heat treat process. We weren't heat treaters. We stayed away from it for as long as we could. They finally convinced us if you take on this vacuum hydrogen heat treating, there will be a lot more business to follow. And that has proven to be true. Not only did we buy the initial furnace, we bought a second one a couple years later, and we actually built the third one in-house that actually, with our maintenance company, very talented group of guys. And the performance out of the one that we built far exceeds the first two furnaces. So
that's fantastic. Let me take a look at that for a minute. So do you manufacture all the parts of this component then?
All the parts inside the proximity switch
inside
itself.
The proximity switch. And so just to give me a quick idea, is it where would something like this be used? I mean, I know you said all over the place, but give me a quick idea.
To make sure the doors are closed, the fuel flap is all the way closed, the flaps on the aircraft, how far they're out.
Got it. A lot of different applications.
A lot of different applications.
Okay, very good. Now, I have a question for our quality man, all right? Okay. How do you ensure that something like this meets the quality standards in the industry?
Well, first, reviewing all the customer's requirements, and then lining those up with our control plans and FEMA's, and then in-process and final inspection. Okay,
and how do you make sure that you can meet the specifications before you even start doing something like this?
Research. Looking at our capabilities.
Okay, and you always have problems when you're starting something. Always. Okay. Well, what do you do if you're having some problems? How do you handle that? What do you do if you have some quality issues or control issues or anything like that? Or do you not have problems?
We try not to.
The helium testing.
Yeah, this product is helium tested for porosity.
Okay.
So we've selected certain mills that we get material from that are capable of creating or producing good product with less pores.
Yeah.
And then we ensure that they don't leak through helium testing.
Nice. It sounds like you have some real wide variety of capabilities. I mean, these are all really very sophisticated processes. Very good. Well, listen, this has really been very interesting. Let me switch over real quick into the other half of this. Is that we're at this event here, the Aerospace and Defense Supplier Summit, Seattle. All right. Why did you come here?
We came here primarily because this is one of our many core businesses as it relates to our target accounts, which is space, aerospace, and defense. All of those industries are being represented here today, and it's an opportunity that we get in front of the major OEMs and explain to them not only what we do internally, but we are also the co-founder of the Inland Northwest Aerospace Consortium. So all of these businesses are within our region. They're all aerospace certified manufacturing companies, and we are one of the integrators for the consortium. So this means a lot to us. It's kind of a community service for us to bring our region together. There's a lot of talented companies within our network and in our region. And so it allows us to come together for a finished and tested subassembly that contains sheet metal, electronics, circuit boards, cable harness assemblies. Things that are outside of our core competencies are truly an extension of our business when we enlist the support of somebody in our network.
Yeah, I also like that you're trying to help others in the industry. And one of the things I really like to do is to help companies that are trying to be successful and trying to grow in the industry. If you had one piece of advice for somebody watching today and said, how did you break into this industry, or what advice do you have for somebody trying to break into this industry, what would you tell them?
You better have a good quality system, first and foremost. That's really important. You've got to be willing to make the investment to become certified, whether that's as a service provider, you'd have to become NADCAP certified. If you're a manufacturer, you'll have to become AS 9100 certified. It is an investment, but it's a worthy investment. During the downturn of the economy in 2008, we were heavily vested in commercial fitness equipment, And with the downturn in the economy, that really hurt that industry. So aerospace was up and coming because the aircraft that they were building were far more fuel efficient, which was very important when fuel was over $4 a gallon. So we made the commitment at that time to become AS certified, and it's now roughly half of our business. So
that's great. Yeah, that's really good. Well, thank you for your commitment to the industry and for the quality parts and things that you produce, and for ensuring that the airplanes that we all fly in are reliable and safe. And we recognize that that's a very valuable part of the industry. And I know you have a lot of experience in that space. So listen, thanks for taking time to tell the people watching today about your business. And I encourage them to reach out to you. If someone wants to reach out to your company, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Altek, ALTEK -inc.com is our website.
Okay. Perfect. Just go there, and there's a place that they can reach out to you.
Absolutely.
Right. So if you want to continue this conversation about whether you want to get in touch with them about them being a supplier, for you, or maybe if you have questions for these guys about how to break into the business, it's Alltech-what again?
-inc.com.
Alltech-inc.com. So thanks for watching today. We really hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you've learned something new about a new company or a long-standing established company, within the industry. Thanks, gentlemen. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you very much.